Welcome back everyone to another Whirlpool Duet Dryer video. This time we have a blown out high limit thermostat and thermal fuse. We're also going to do some vent cleaning for you. First, you're going to unplug your dryer as always because there's going to be electricity. And it looks like we have another F25. That means the thermal fuse and high limit thermostat has been blown. So what we are going to do with our Whirlpool Duet is make sure that we have all of our specs and we have everything because we're going to run a diagnostic. So you go to your temperature and you click 1, 2, let off 1, 2, 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 1, 2. And that gets you your diagnostic for your F25 or whatever's going wrong. And as you can see, I'm about to take a flathead screwdriver and undo the clamps that are going to connect my dryer to the vent hose and then taking it to the exhausting that goes out of your home. So up in the top right, I've actually shown you guys what it is, and this is a dryer vent cleaning kit, and it's on Amazon, and it's anywhere from $28 to I'd say $40. I wouldn't spend more than that. As you can see, I'm looking and trying to see if there's debris. Obviously there is, but I'm also feeling for airflow. Since it was a cool day, I should be feeling something cool in there, but I'm not feeling anything. So up in the top right again, I'm showing you what that bristling looks like. So as I go to the dryer and the back itself, I'm going to take that same screwdriver and undo that clamp as well. These are all part of the kits. This should all be very easy for you guys to find online. Here are two demonstrations. The first, I'm using the brush to clean the venting hose from the dryer to the outside. And once I start pulling all that debris, this is the next demonstration when I use the blower to see what it looks like.
Go.
That is how much debris, lint, and filth is coming out of your dryer venting hose while using a blower. It's disgusting. Once you've cleaned out the dryer vent hose from the dryer to your outside, you're going to get into the dryer. You're going to need a 1/4 inch socket wrench or some type of metric tool because you're going to take off the screws in the back that I just pointed at, and you're going to slide the top as I am demonstrating, and it comes right off, no problem whatsoever. It is very light. Just make sure you don't lose your screws. Now that you have the top off, you're going to take off that screw right there. There's another couple of screws, one right there, and over here in the corner, one right there, and all the way over there, there's another one. You do not take off that one, and you do not take off that far screw out there. That's to the back of the dryer. You won't need that. The next, you're going to take off that control board, and it's going to move out because you're going to unlock the front paneling. So once that's dislodged, then you can get to the front of the dryer. Now you can see that I have taken that motherboard or control board off, and it's given me access to the front paneling where you would have the buttons and things. This is going to lift straight up. You're going to take your hand and you're going to lift straight up. After you take some aesthetics off, which is going to break, but you're going to put your hand right there and you're going to lift straight up, and the unit will come right off, or the front paneling will come right off very, very simply. It's not difficult. There is no screws. It's just grooving. And once you slide out of that grooving, it becomes very, very easy. You then want access to the housing that's in the front of the dryer. You're going to have two gold screws that are going to mount the blower and the housing to the dryer itself. Then you're going to have, that's a gold screw, that's a gold screw, and then there's one silver screw up in the corner. The same size wrench you're going to use to take those off. The next, you're going to use a butter knife because you're going to unlock some tabbies, and those tabbies end up coming off. Very, very difficult to come off, but they will come off with a butter knife. After you've dislodged all of these things, you're going to unscrew just slightly up in the corner Well, you're going to take off those 2 screws. Those are the ones that come out. But in the top, you're going to take off some screws. Well, this is a rehash of the silver screw and the 2 gold screws. They're going to take off that blower mounting. Now, that front whole paneling all comes off, but there's screws over to the side, and those screws that I'm going to show you just briefly, you can see where my hands are. You're not going to undo those. That one right there, you just loosen slightly. And then the other one to the right, you loosen, very, very lightly. And once that comes off, you'll just lift it straight off. That gives you access to the drum. And you want to unlock or dislodge the idler pulley. And I'm showing you some idler pulley footage. As you notice, it comes out of the unit, goes around the pulley, and then back around. I'm showing you a diagram as it goes out. You're going to dislodge that. There is a large spring there, so be very, very careful with that. Why don't you pause the video for your reference? Once that's done, you will have access to the entire dryer itself. As once that's done, you can see how that is still in almost the action place. So you're going to dislodge that. There's a spring you can see down at the bottom, and there's like a very much of a tension there. So be very, very careful with that. You're going to have to make sure that all of that is taken off, because you're going to take now the drum, you're going to make sure it's loose, and you're going to pull that with the unlodged or the dislodged belt, and then take it away from the dryer all together, so you have access to where the motor is and the dryer element, which is what I'm showing you right here. That is the entire guts of the dryer. There's wheels I'm showing you there. There's the heating element, and there is the thermistor right there, and there is the thermal fuse cutoff. That's the high limit, which is also a part of the thermal fuse cutoff. And they are in conjunction, and they will stop fires. That's what's going bad in mine or an F25. The thermistor is also the sensing module, talking about how wet it's going to be. I'm also going to show you all of this. You want to take pictures if I sound like a broken record, because I want you to always take pictures. That's the motor. That's the wiring. You want to make sure there's no exposed things or burned out wires, but I'm seeing nothing. You also want to take an opportunity to clean everything. You can see that spring and the idler pulley itself is laying flat. So that's what it looks like. So when you're going to bring that back up there, it's going to go back exactly the same way you have, or you had it before. So once you have the dryer element exposed, you're going to see the thermal high limit fuse and the high limit thermostat. And you're also going to see at the very far right, which we're not going to touch, is the heating element. Wires, those are to be left alone. So you're basically taking a picture. Now, these are what I got from Amazon. I am going to show you, obviously, some of the 1-for-1, which are a little more expensive, but on Amazon, you can get these for quite a lot of savings. So you're going to see that there is a pinkish color. That is what you're going to look for my model. And also for your thermal fuse is kind of a blue, and the thermistor looks pretty much like an oval shaped. So those are the ones that we have, and they're going to replace right where I'm showing you. But you want the one that has almost a salmon or a pink color, because that's what's going to go there. If you notice, mine that blew out is a white one. So the one where I'm showing you now is the high limit thermos or the thermal fuse. So I don't want to use that one anymore. I want to use the one that came with the salmon color or the pink one. So once I've done that, I do not want to ever buy any of the white-faced ones, even if it has the coating that is appropriate. It is a little cheaper, but it's not going to work as long. I'm now showing you what it looks like, and the salmon color is the one which is the thermostat, or the high-limit thermostat, and then to the right is the thermal fuse cutoff, which is another part of the thermal fuse itself, which is almost an end-to-end. On one end, it's going to be have a cutoff point for how much heat is going through the unit and how much is going to turn off the unit. That's a 1-for-1. It's about $35. So I'm now showing you what my old one looked like, which is the white one above on the heating element housing, and I've replaced it with the salmon one. See, the same numbers, same coating. I don't want you to buy the white one, buy the salmon colored one. It does say made in China, so understand that that's where it's coming from. And the salmon one's a more 1-for-1. I've also replaced that thermal fuse and the thermistor. So all of these have been done. Now you're going to check connections. Make sure they're all put together and they're all put back nice and soundly and firmly. We give a thumbs up. So then we're going to take our plug and we're going to plug the dryer back in, because you are now at a place where you have put everything back together in reverse. And now that we have everything, we're going to go ahead and press power and start. And lo and behold, we have a dryer that is working. No more diagnostic problem with F25, and we have heat and we have success. I hope you guys have a great one. Like and subscribe.